All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for more One Piece, because we're about to bring an end to the Fishman Island arc. So let's begin. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another One Piece live reading. I was about to say chapter reaction and review, but this ain't Sunday. Today, we are going to be reading volume 66 of this series, titled The Road Towards the Sun. And I gotta correct the title because I thought it was A Road Towards the Sun. Give me a sec here. Let me put the right one in here. And there we go. Yep, it's right. There we go. The Road Towards the Sun. All right, good to see you, Kohagen. And as he says, we have 10 chapters. So let's begin, shall we? But yeah, The Road Towards the Sun. And we're going to be bringing an end to the Fishman Island arc today. The Story of One Piece, Volume 66. Having finished their 2 years of training, the Straw Hat crew reunites on the Sabaody archipelago. They set sail more determined than ever to reach the New World. The Straw Hats finally reach Fishman Island, but are quickly ambushed by the new Fishman pirates. Their hatred of humans was caused by a long and terrible history of oppression. Now Hody Jones has sworn to destroy the Ryugu Kingdom, become the new king of Fishman Island, and eliminate anyone who hopes for peace with humankind. Princess Shirahoshi and her brothers want peace, and they stand up to Hody with Luffy's help. But now the giant Ark Noah is bearing down on Fishman Island. Luffy's crew defeats the Fishman officers, but Noah's downward plunge continues. The island is in great danger. So, the chapters we have are chapters 647 all the way down to 655. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Chapter 647, Stop, Noah! Decks of the World, Volume 30. Skypiea, Rocky, and Conus's Pumpkin Cafe speciality, pumpkin noodles. As Captain McKellen, what is his name? Captain McKella? Captain McKellen? What is his name? Captain McKellen. I mean, we got Pagaya here, but what is his name? What is his name? Captain McKella? It's not McGinnis. It was something. The captain of the guard who was always talking about the rules and the infractions and everything. It's nice to see everyone being prosperous now that, actually living in peace because Eneru is not there.
Those vicious, powerful officers! Dispatch with utter ease! Such power we have seen!
And it shows Zoro standing over the, defeated body of Yozo. We see the ice-cold, unconscious body of Zio. We see Daruma, who's defeated by Usopp. We have a defeated Dosun, who was beaten by Chopper. We got a defeated Ikaros Much, who was beaten by Frankie. Hiyozo by Zoro. And then, of course, Waratsumi taken down by Sanji and Jinbei. Look up! People! Watch out!
Waratsumi's coming down!
And it shows Waratsumi coming down on the rest of the new Fishman pirates. And then we have the entire Straw Hat crew just standing around each other. You folks live up to Luffy's standard. Couldn't you have knocked him further away, loser cook? Shut up! Now I wish I dropped him right on your head.
That was awesome, Sanji.
Frankie! That laser beam was sweet!
Hey, squish down a bit, Chopper. You're ruining the point of my giant robot.
Would you wear a miniskirt for me, Nami?
Silence. So what did the robot do, anyway?
And this is the entire Straw Hat crew. And they're looking down, and the citizens are looking down at the Straw Hats, but then a feeling comes over them as they all look up, and the entire citizenry sees Noah getting closer and closer to Fishman Island as it starts to bend the bubble again, because they can feel it. Noah's almost here! And the kids are crying.
Run for it! Don't get trapped in a square! The crazy officers can't boss us around anymore! Run for your lives!
This entire island's going down! Can we even make it before the ship lands? Is Straw Hat going to save us in time? Straw Hat! And Zoro's looking up, and of course the usual people are freaking out. Usopp, Brook, and Chopper, but everyone else is just standing there. Luffy! And Luffy is just screaming out as he keeps using Gum Gum Elephant Gatling on Noah as it gets closer and closer to Fishman Island.
If he can fully destroy Noah, the island will be saved. But if he can't do it in time, Fishman Island will be pulverized to dust.
Don't give up, Straw Hat!
We know there are humans on our side now.
We're not gonna give in and run.
Don't stop, Mr. Straw. Don't stop, Mr. Straw Hat Man.
Fishman Island is in your hands, Straw Hat Luffy! And this is the Minister of the Left. Keep it up, Straw Hat!
We believe in you. Straw Hat. Straw Hat.
Straw Hat!
Straw Hat. Straw Hat. Straw Hat.
Straw Hat!
Stop, Noah. Stop.
And they're just yelling,
Stop. Stop moving, boat.
Straw Hat!
Straw Hat.
Everyone is still screaming Luffy, just crying out for Luffy. And then we see Fukaboshi, we see Neptune. We had no choice but to destroy Noah, Father.
We must bid farewell to the ship of promise. Lives must come first. Forgive me, Joy Boy. We will be unable to fulfill the promise.
Stop! And this is Luffy who keeps punching over and over and over and over and over and over and over again while he's still bleeding out. Because remember, he got kind of really messed up when Hody bit into his shoulder earlier. He still hasn't... I mean, that's still something that happened to him. Stop! A voice screams out, but Luffy hears it. Huh? Who was that? And then Shirahoshi swims in between the punches of Luffy.
Luffy. Stop, Luffy. Stop. Luffy. Stop this at once.
Move it! If I don't destroy this thing, the island's gone! And then Shirahoshi flinches.
No, you can stop now.
No, I can't! Everyone's still down there!
Noah has already stopped.
And it shows that there's a bunch of Neptunians who are holding on to the chains linked up to Noah, and they're keeping it from falling. Neptunians? But why?
Luffy yelled at me.
Hey, now isn't the time for that! I don't really understand either, but...
See? Noah's standing still. Oh, Luffy, your wounds are terribly bloody.
And it shows that Luffy's entire left side is, incredibly bloody. Yeah, but at least the ship stopped. And now, everyone's alright. And Luffy starts to fall.
Luffy!
My, what a human he is. What a mighty little man.
If he had been a moment later, the island would be safe. If we had been a moment later, the island would be safe, but Noah would have been dashed to pieces.
I am glad we came in time. It was a very good thing that Princess Shirahoshi called us.
What? But I couldn't do anything. Only cry.
No, you were guided by the Straw Hat Boy's powerful desire and prayed.
And these are the Neptunians. These are the inner thoughts. These are the Neptunians speaking to Shirahoshi. So if you think they're just mindless beasts, this chapter pretty much proves that they're capable of intellectual thought.
You were guided by the Straw Hat Boy's powerful desire and prayed.
What in the
What in the world? What does this mean? Neptunians came down and stopped the ship.
And Luffy continues to fall. And then the Neptunians continue.
Just as he tried to save the island, you wish to be a source of strength to him.
And then Luffy, I guess, falls directly into Fishman Island. He just falls directly into it.
Our power is your power. We lent him our aid because you called us.
I don't know how to describe what I'm seeing, but the truth is right there, before our eyes. Noah has stopped, and it hasn't been smashed to pieces either. Fishman Island is saved!
And then everyone is cheering as Luffy lays unconscious. Like, the Straw Hats are cheering, the citizens are cheering, the mermaids are hugging each other and hugging Den. Everyone's happy that the crisis is over. And that's the end of chapter 647. We got an SBS and we can move on to chapter 648. Question. Greetings, Mr. Oda and readers of One Piece. I am a bona fide psychic, and I am going to correctly predict what Mr. Oda wants to say right now. Start the SBS. Well, impressive, isn't it, Mr. Mimori? Answer. You're right. Huh? How did you know? Jeez, that was freaky. Question. Is Akainu's junk magma-y? Answer. Hey. Is Aokiji's junk chilly? Stop that! Is Kizaru's junk flashy? Knock it off! Are these questions really appropriate for the start of the book? Yes to all three. Question. Odachi, where does the New World Nami full body pillow come? When does the full New World Nami full body pillow come out? Signed, Captain Nobuo. And I feel like Captain Nobuo has asked this question before. Answer. I don't know! Look, I'm not involved with merchandising, nor do I know anything about every product. Although if I could design one, I'd love to have Frankie's arms. You could put them on over your arms and grab people's heads with them, and they'd make cool sounds and everything. Bandai, can you start working on that? I'm actually surprised that Bandai hasn't come up with cosplay options for like Frankie arms that you can put on your actual arms, like soccer boppers. And then you could just put them together in order to have like the super. I mean, it's an option. Y'all missing an opportunity here. Y'all can make some money with Frankie arms. Question. Why do you draw yourself as a fish? Knowing you, I'm sure there's a very deep and thoughtful meaning behind it. Sign Emmy at 3 exclamation point 04. Answer. There's no meaning behind it at all. Question. If you cooked the giant kraken, how many octopus fritters could you make? Sign Hunting Pirates. Good question. Even if you were on the generous side, in terms of doling out the portions, you could probably make 10 million fritters. So at 8 per pack, that's 1.25 million servings. Food for 1.25 million people. Wait, don't feed your friends! Chapter 648, The Road Toward the Sun. Decks of the New World, Volume 31, Skypiea, Kami's Guardians. And the Guardians are... Wiper. Kamakiri? I want to say, Wiper, Kamakiri, Genbo, and Braum. They're the new guardians of Ganfor. Sorry, so many names. But the Neptunians continue to speak.
Princess Shirahoshi, we have been waiting and waiting for you to be born.
For me?
This ship was built for us to pull. It has been spoken of for years and years among us.
Is that why Noah is so large?
Every few hundred years, our sovereign is born in the form of a mermaid for some reason. Why is that? From the moment of your birth, you have been our queen.
It's as though the Neptunians protected Noah, so that Luffy wouldn't destroy it. At least that's how I saw it. Perhaps Noah is important to them in some way.
And this is the tower group, the tower crew, the air tower crew, air tank tower crew. They're speaking this to everyone to hear.
Brother.
Is Shirahoshi doing what I think she is?
She must be talking with the Neptunians somehow. I can't believe it. The Neptunians.
And this is Neptune.
The Neptunians. So the power great enough to destroy the world has finally awakened. Look, the bubble is being absorbed by the island. You must go to him. Humans will die on the seafloor.
And then Luffy is still inside the Noah as the bubble itself starts to get absorbed into the water, and thus the main source for Luffy to survive. And mind you, he's laying here while he's covered in blood because he's bleeding out.
Luffy! Oh no!
And then the Neptunians swim away.
Was it my imagination?
What?
That human with the hat seemed to notice our voices.
That can't be.
But it did happen once before.
Yes, it did.
Rayleigh, did you hear that voice?
Hear what? It's dead silent down here.
Who the heck's talking out there? And the person saying that is Roger!
The ship is falling to pieces.
Can it be fixed?
Can it be used?
I cannot say. We will need their help to fix it, but it is a different age now.
And the Neptunians rest the Noah in the ship graveyard for both Den, Hachi, and Kami to see.
Can it be fixed?
I hope so.
Neptunians?
Yeah, they brought Noah with them.
Yeah! They're gonna gobble us up!
Can it be fixed?
I hope so.
Before the promised time arrives.
Ryugu Palace.
Ryugu Palace reporting. I have an urgent message for the left. Ryugu Palace reporting. I have an urgent message for the left minister. Okay, so the left minister is the dude that is not the seahorse fishman. That's the minister of the right, so I got that wrong. My bad. I have an urgent message for the left minister.
What is it?
We have discovered the kidnapped mermaids inside of the palace.
In the palace?
Are they unharmed? They're still a bit groggy, but they claim to remember the kidnapper's face well. Meanwhile, the treasure chamber has been ransacked. There's not a coin to be found inside. That includes the Tamate box, our national treasure. Your Majesty, it seems someone has taken advantage of the empty castle.
Forget about the treasure thieves. After nearly losing the kingdom itself, treasure is a trivial matter. Let the kingdom know the mermaids are safe. At least it will serve as final proof of the Straw Hats' innocence. We have done a terrible thing to them.
At once, Your Majesty.
Conchcord Plaza.
Did you hear? The Straw Hats were the kidnappers after all.
Of course not. They'd never do anything like that. I said it all along.
Liar!
Admit it. You suspected them because they were humans.
I'm begging you, boss. Let us go. Hardy's gang forced us into it. We didn't have a choice.
We can go, right? We're just humans in the wrong place at the wrong time. And ain't this place funded by pirate tourists spending their money here anyway? Let us through to the exit!
I'm not saying that you will all be executed. Just wait for the royal family's decision. And if any of you try to float off in bubbles, I'll strike you out of the air.
And this is Jinbei. He's all like, okay, I'm not going to execute you, but y'all ain't leaving until they make a decision. And if you try to leave, I'm killing you.
Ah, darn it!
You gonna be all right, Chomper?
Yeah, I'm fine. Using Monster Point paralyzes me so I can't walk for a few hours afterward. But I can fix you up. Anyone hurt?
Not as bad as you.
I used my ultimate attack too, Robin. Only resting my head on your lap will help. And no one is paying Sanji any mind. Does he not get that him simping is not actually doing him any favors? Has he? It's been 2 years. Has he not realized?
Oh, it's the princess and His Majesty from the other direction.
And the individuals they're bringing in is Vanderdecken and an unconscious Hody Jones.
Huh, Hody and Vanderdecken!
I didn't mean to worry you, Father. I'm just glad you're all right.
And then Hody is then covered in chains. Covered in chains. Have no fear, my people. You have my word. These men will not go free again.
He looked so scary. To think there was such a creature living right near us in the Fishman district. Captain Hody! He looks like a monster.
And we get Shirahoshi, who's crying as she swims with all haste.
No!
Hey, look.
Luffy's come back.
It's Straw Hat Luffy and Princess Shirahoshi!
Someone help! Luffy won't stop bleeding! He went too far trying to help us! Oh no! Robin, flip me over! There's a blood coagulant in my bag!
This isn't exactly filling me with confidence for our future battles, Doc!
As, you know, Chopper can't move because he used Monster Point. Usopp's all like,
You can't move! How can we count on you when we're in the thick of it?
I'll move you.
Little left! Little left!
This is not how a doctor should work!
as Robin is helping Chopper.
Can his life be saved? This'll stop the bleeding, but he's lost too much already! We need more blood! Does anyone here have blood type F?
None of us are F aside from Luffy. There must be someone in the square.
Can anyone help?
I'm type F. I'm F, but...
Oh, wait! Isn't it a law here that you can't give humans blood?
And then this is the first that Nami is hearing of it.
What? What kind of law is that? That's awful!
And certain citizens are looking out.
My blood type is different, but it's still red. Will that work? I appreciate the sentiment, but no! Hey, aren't there any human pirates here?
Princess Shirahoshi?
Oh! And then the citizens are surprised. And then the princes are surprised.
Huh?
As Jimbei steps up.
Use my blood. It's F. You can have as much as you need.
Jimbei!
Boss Jimbei!
But the law says...
Pirates don't follow the law.
Boss! But, Jimbei, you...
Let him. What's wrong with that?
But, Your Majesty...
The old laws are a curse all their own.
Yo.
Yo! Jimbei! Let's go, Jimbei!
Both the wounders and the wounded alike bled red blood. That small, narrow tube, far too tiny to call a road, was unlike prejudice born of hate and fear, or battle washing blood clean with more bloodshed.
And it shows the faces of the citizens. It shows Luffy being hooked up to an IV. It shows Queen Otohime, Fisher Tiger, Arlong, all the people in the past.
But it was nevertheless more than any wild dream or ideal fantasy, a vivid and real representation of the true road toward the sun.
As Luffy is connected to Jimbei. Luffy is connected to Jimbei, getting like a blood transfusion from Jimbei. Being the first person in who knows how many years to actually, you know, get something to have this happen.
Jimbei.
Oh, he's coming too!
Luffy!
So, you're awake after all.
Straw Hat!
This is the nothing from which we start anew, Mother. Hey, Jimbei.
You gotta join my crew! And that is the end of chapter 648. Onwards to chapter 649, The Dance of Breams and Places. It says Breams and Places, but Plaices. Decks of the World, Volume 32, Skypiea. God is pleased with this year's crop. As Ganfor, Jimbei should shrink a little and Luffy should buff a little. How does that make sense? Does your body get smaller when you lose blood? It wouldn't. That doesn't make sense at all, Kohagen. Why would he shrink? God is pleased with this year's crop, and Ganfor is there with Pierre with a ginormous crop of pumpkins, and we get the golden bell of Shandora in the background while he's chilling with the Elder from the Shandians.
Woo! We're free at last! Serves you right, Hody. I was afraid I'd be a slave for the rest of my miserable life.
We're in your debt, Straw Hat Crew!
I'm gonna be the Pirate King now. That's not... Shh! Shut up! It'll happen!
We can finally make our way to the new world! in cartoons does make sense. This ain't Looney Tunes, though. And the minister of the right and left are looking at the pirates running off.
Might not their hatred for Hody now be turned upon fishmen as a whole?
If it does, it is neither here nor there. This island has long been a tourist attraction and rest stop for human pirates. They have no reason to turn on the rest of us.
That's like saying Luffy should grow blue scales. Exactly. Or suddenly be able to swim underwater.
But now, the remnants of the new fishman pirates.
Please don't behead us! We didn't even know Hody was the one who killed the queen. They were all crazy!
You will now live here on Fishman Island itself.
What? You want us to live under the law?
I'd rather have that than Hody's tyranny.
You can't, your majesty! If those types are wandering around town, we won't be able to let our children play in the street again!
You will, of course, be working under military supervision, a form of penal service, if you will. I will give you jobs that make use of your great strength. As of now, the Fishman district on the seafloor, far out of sight, is entirely closed off.
So, no more foundations for hatred to grow away from a section of Fishman Island that wants to dwell in peace. Now you cut it off at the head. The best way you get rid of something rotten is you just throw it away completely. You just cut it off so it doesn't affect and infect any other place.
The darkness of the Fishman people, the true killer of Queen Otohime, had finally been dragged out into the light. The pirate Hody Jones's plot to take over Fishman Island had ironically enough been foiled by a band of human pirates stopping at the island. And where is Straw Hat Luffy?
Well, he has escaped.
Escaped?
So, why did you leave the square as though you were escaping?
Don't be stupid. We already had to fight in that square like some kind of circus show. The last thing we want is to stick around and be treated like heroes.
The thought of it makes me sick.
Is there something wrong with being a hero?
Let me lay it out for you. The hero is the guy who shares his grog with others. I want to drink all the grog.
Not that again. What is wrong with you guys? Why are you refusing, Jinbei? Let's go adventuring together. Yeah, Jinbei. Yeah, join our crew, boss.
It'd be great to have a former warlord of the sea on board. Also, you need rest. You need absolute rest, Luffy.
I'm only saying that I cannot go right now. I am grateful and overjoyed for your invitation. I am sure that it would be a pleasure to voyage with you, but there is business yet to be done here. I have a position here, one that I have temporarily set aside. But once I have upheld my duty and all loose ends have been tied up, I promise you that I will return to you. If you still feel the same way about me then, will you ask me to join the Straw Hat crew once again?
You better come back! Got that?
Come on, the man's got a duty to perform. Don't pressure him.
He must really like us,
goes Robin.
Yo! Luffy's really wants this guy. We'll be waiting, Jinbei.
You have my thanks.
So, what now? Right into the new world?
What? You're leaving already? But we want to thank you properly.
Good idea. Let's stay over at the Mermaid Cafe for a week. You want to see mermaids? Well, I agree. Wait, Straw Hats. I've caught up to their ship, Majesty.
Good. Luffy, we must settle matters with a proper feast.
A feast? Great. I'll call Hachi and Kami.
Fishman District sealed off. Ryugu Palace Prison Tower. Officers of the new Fishman Pirates plus Vanderdecken imprisoned.
And it shows Hody Jones and everyone affiliated with him, all his top officers and Vanderdecken, in prison.
Fishman Island front entrance.
Thanks, Kraken. Take him far away. We don't have a prison cell big enough for you, Watatsumi. You're hereby banished from the country.
And Kraken is more than happy to just drag the still unconscious and beaten Watatsumi outside of the range of the Fishman Island. Coral Hill.
Did you catch anything? We got a major haul. Gut the fish and take them to the palace. They're gonna have a huge feast for the Straw Hats.
You got it. Let's get busy.
I hear they love sea beast meat.
We got sweets and cakes.
Is this enough booze? You can take a bath in our finest vintage. Ryugu Palace. Is this King Neptune saying this?
Thank you for coming, Luffy and friends. We will speak inside during the festivities. Ride those long founders to the feast hall.
It's a pitch black room full of water. Yes, this is such a good idea. I'm getting nervous.
I've never been in the palace. What is this place? Where's the meat?
Look, the heroes are here. Shut up. Don't call us heroes. It's all my meat.
Look at look at all the soldiers down there.
The stage is right ahead, everyone.
Stage?
There's someone up there. The pride of Fishman Island. Greatest diva on the seafloor. Maria Napoli.
Or Maria Napoli.
Maria Napoli.
And it's just this woman just singing.
It's like her voice is melting in my ears.
I can feel my soul trembling. Oh, yeah!
The Swing Jazz Orchestra.
Beep, 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 beep.
And our special guest for the evening,
Oh my god!
Chill out, man!
And this is Chopper to Sanji.
their beauty causes grown men to forget to breathe. The Mermaid Cafe Dancers.
Ah! Shut up!
Goes Chopper to Sanji because he's losing it.
Bring out the food!
Eat, sing, drink, dance, and be merry.
And it's just a big, giant, fantastically large party as the Straw Hats are just enjoying themselves with this massive celebration.
The dance of breams and blazes!
And she's singing, Papagoo's dancing with the quintuplets, Luffy's eating his, eating meat. And Hachi, Frankie, and Zoro are drinking booze. Sanji's turned to stone again because he's surrounded by mermaids, while Chopper's trying to tend to him. And everyone else is enjoying themselves. Everyone else is enjoying themselves with everything that's going on. It's just everyone's having a good old time. And apparently, Nami is out drinking basically everybody. I think she outdrinks Fukaboshi. And it's just a big, massive celebration.
What did you want to discuss, pirate girl?
And this is Neptune speaking to Robin. I want to make sure that doesn't lead to anything, because I just had like a nosebleed issue earlier this morning. Do not want anything else to happen today, but I should be good.
What did you want to discuss, pirate girl?
Pardon me, I thought this was our chance to be alone.
Just so you know, I love my wife Otohime very, very much. Just because she's gone doesn't mean I would betray her
Who is Joy Boy?
And then Neptune drops his drink because he's slightly drunk.
I read the poneglyph in the forest of the sea. Who was he apologizing to?
You can read that?
I am a survivor of Ohara. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to say.
No. I will tell you everything I know. I trust you. Joy Boy is a person who lived on the surface during the 100-year void.
So, at least 800 years ago.
That message was meant for the mermaid princess on the island at the time. It was an apology for breaking a promise made with Fishman Island.
Promise?
The contents of that promise are not clear, but someone would come along to fulfill the promise in Joy Boy's stead, at least according to the royal legend. So we believe in that day, and uphold our part of the promise by protecting Noah through the generations. For it is not until the day the promise comes about that Noah will fulfill its actual purpose. After everything ended above the island, I heard that no.
Oh, wait, this is Robin.
After everything ended above the island, I heard that Noah was taken to the forest of the sea by Neptunians. If Joy Boy was meant to use Noah, could he have had the power to control Neptunians?
No. The one who could use that power was the mermaid princess of the time.
As I thought, meaning Princess Shirahoshi can do the same thing.
Yes, and I believe that latent ability came fully to the fore today. No, not that it brings me any joy.
I don't blame you. 2 years ago, I read a poneglyph on an island in the sky that contained the location of an ancient weapon, and that location was here. Could the mermaid princess who lived in the time of Joy Boy have another name? A name that Princess Shirahoshi, who has the same power, will now inherit as her own. Her other name is in fact the ancient weapon Poseidon.
Woo! Look at that lore. Look at that lore. Look at that lore. And that's the end of chapter 649. Onwards to 650. But first, an SBS. Hello, Mr. Oda. Hody turned his dorsal fin into a blade using Shark Slicer. Can fishmen remove their dorsal fins? Are they reversible or something? Or is it sticking out of the side? Please explains. Da, da, da. Yeah, I know, Ozzy. Answer. Sign, yeah. Answer. Oh, that's a weapon that fits over the top. Just like I said before. And I didn't even look into Hody Jones and his Shark Slicer. That just seemed more likely that he put like an actual blade on his fin. But yeah, the blade is hollow inside so he can sit it on top of his fin and slice people with it. Question. Howdy, Odachi. I love One Piece so much I make time for it no matter how busy I am. So I put together a list of Fishman Emotion t-shirts found in the manga. It might not be all of them though. What do you think? Signed, Hoda Hoda Butterfly. So we got Nantoka, which says somehow. We got Sona, which means it says no way. Then we got Yosho, which is here we go. Then we got Bikri, which is surprise. And then we got Shotai, which is identity. Ishiga Tetsujo, Ishiga Tetsujo, lacking will. And then Imase, which is not here. Then Deki, which is can't. And then you got Zaza, which is zh. It just says zh. I'm not making it up. Zh. Zh. Then we got Anshinshiro, which is don't worry. Nandato, which is what? And then Ita, which is there he is. Answer. Oh, there were a bunch. Thanks for finding them. They sure don't make much sense when you remove the context, do they? Not very useful. Aloha shirt style is a traditional style on Fishman Island, and the criminal brand and explanation shirts seem to be the latest trend. Chapter 650, 2 changes to be aware of. Decks of the World, Volume 33, Long Ring Longland, Tonjit meets his grandchildren. He finally made it! He finally made it. I'm happy that Tonjit finally got back to his family, even though it took a while. But the conversation continues with Robin and Neptune.
For whatever reason, long in the past, there existed powers deadly enough to destroy the world. 3 ancient weapons bearing the name of gods: Pluton, Uranus, and Poseidon. And your own daughter is one of them.
Indeed.
If the rest of the world caught wind...
If the rest of the world caught wind of this secret, everything would be thrown into chaos. Powerful forces would seek out the princess's power, both government and pirate alike.
And while this conversation is going on, someone far off in the distance has glooped their way up to listen to this conversation.
Ancient weapon? Power to destroy the world? Do I dare believe my ears? Have I just overheard some amazing info? The mermaid princess, eh?
Because it's Caribou, who has been slipping away from everybody.
Luffy, your ignorance of the state of the world is most concerning.
Oh, yeah? Let's find out.
Let's.
And who is this? Who is this? That's not Frank. That's not Sanji, but I think it's a mermaid going, Let's find a quiet place to speak. Okay, give me a sec. Oh, wait, I think this is Jinbei.
Let's find a quiet place to speak.
Okay, give me a sec. I need to stock up on food first. Hey, you're all out here! And then Zoro's unconscious. He's sleeping.
I got a little too tipsy. Needed to work off my buzz.
I need to work off my gut.
And Sanji needs to work off the mermaids.
Fishman Island is the greatest.
What? Akainu and Aokiji had a fight?
As I feared, Rayleigh was cruel to withhold this from you. To think you never got wind of that massive incident.
Nope.
I knew about it. I did.
Following the war 2 years ago, Fleet Admiral Sengoku stepped down from his position, and to take over as Fleet Admiral, he endorsed Aokiji, who also enjoyed widespread support from his own subordinates. But dignitaries within the government strongly pushed for Akainu. Aokiji is not one to show motivation of any sort, but came out in furious opposition to Akainu being instated as Fleet Admiral. There was a confrontation. This unthinkable conflict between admirals led to a one-on-one duel on an island. Dead men tell no tales. The loser would have no quarrel with the outcome. The winner of the fight would seize the right to command the Navy.
And Luffy's listening intently and still eating.
The battle raged on for 10 whole days, the talk of the entire world. They were evenly matched, meeting each other blow for blow until finally Akainu emerged victorious, and thus Sakazuki is the new Fleet Admiral of the Navy.
And then Luffy, touching the scar that Akainu gave him, just goes, Akainu! So Aokiji's dead? So is Aokiji dead?
They both suffered grievous injury in the fight. At the sight of his long-term comrade entirely at his mercy, even Akainu could not bring himself to finish the job. As for Aokiji, unable to bear working for Akainu, he left the Navy.
So Aokiji isn't even a sailor anymore.
Indeed. Who can say where he is now, and how he feels? It was certainly a very costly battle for the government to lose such an important figure. But the government enacted to fill that hole, granted the Navy an unprecedented, unexpected power. Listen carefully. Keep in mind, these 2 chief changes in the New World that have taken place during the last 2 years. Under Fleet Admiral Sakazuki's leadership, Navy HQ has grown far more powerful and determined than ever before. And the Blackbeard pirates have made fearful strides of their own.
The guys who wrecked my homeland!
Blackbeard, the ones we met in Mocktown.
As a veteran of Whitebeard's crew, Teach knew their territory like the back of his hand, and after Pops' passing, he quickly spread out and conquered that entire stretch of sea, using the tremor powers that he stole from Whitebeard's body. Now,
It says the rest of world. It doesn't say the rest of the world, it says the rest of world.
Now, the rest of the world labels him one of the 4 emperors, alongside red-haired Shanks, Kaido, and Big Mom.
The despicable swine!
According to rumor, they're now putting their weight to hunting those with powers. Somehow they possess the means to kill power users and loot them of their abilities. Blackbeard and his crew are ever in search of more powerful devil fruit powers. Be wary.
Oh crap! I'm screwed!
Nobody wants the human fruit.
And I think I hardly need remind you of your own score to settle with Blackbeard, Luffy. I beseech you, Luffy, do not. Luffy, are you listening to any of this?
Because Luffy is just tuned out of the entire conversation and is now eating food. His attention span lasts as long as Saitama's does.
Are you even listening to any of this? And you call yourself the captain? Keep yourself informed, you clod!
Don't worry, Jinbei, we're listening.
Huh? You mean a captain isn't the guy who always ignores things?
The captain is the one...
This captain is the one responsible for the lives of his crew, Luffy!
Hey, did you try these Fishman Island sweets? They're great, even better than the meat. Chill out, Jinbei. I like taking my chances when it counts.
Oh, you poor souls.
Yeah, we know.
Hey, Kami, where's Wimpy Hoshi?
She's a little dizzy. She's not used to alcohol. I saw her back to her room.
Hey, Zoro, Sanji. Huh? Are there any wild beasts in this castle? Good point. There's definitely something. So Luffy senses something. Shell Tower, Ryugu Palace. Please.
Please, no! You mustn't! Who are you? Why do you do this? Someone! Anyone!
Don't glare at me that way, sweetheart. I ain't gonna hurt you, princess. You won't feel a thing. I have so much treasure now that selling mermaids is just a hassle. But you're a different story. All I'm gonna do is knock you out for a little bit. I just heard that my brother and the rest are at the harbor. Let's take a little trip into the new world together. As it shows that Caribou has made his way into Shirahoshi's room and is trying to take Shirahoshi with his swamp powers. But that's not before he stops, as Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro are right behind him, and Luffy's just chomping on his meat, chomping on his piece of meat that he brought with him.
Luffy! Straw Hat!
Then Luffy kicks Caribou right out of the Ryugu Palace, right back down to the surface below with a very loud and resounding "Ah!"
Oh, Luffy! I was so scared!
I didn't know that guy was still around.
Luffy, you lucky dog. I wish I'd been the one to kick him.
Sanji, the simp. Strongest simp that you could ever see in any series. I'm sorry, he's just the biggest simp ever. And then we get the Minister of the Right.
That was a close one. Once again, you have my thanks. To think that filthy treasure thief was still in the palace. Normally, we don't let a single guppy inside, but with the battle raging, we left it vulnerable. Just look at the right tower of the palace, cut clean in two. That vagabond must have done that while we were looking.
No, he's the one that cut that tower. All we needed to do was cut the bars of his cage to get out, but no, that's not enough.
Just let them blame it on him, Star Dork.
Wait a second. What did you say about treasure thieves, Mr. Minister?
What?
What? You mean that guy? Went and made off with all of the castle's treasure?
I got a bad feeling about this.
Aren't they national treasures? You aren't going to chase him?
And this is Nami.
After seeing that my people are safe and sound, mere treasure is cheap in comparison.
What if we get it back for you?
You are welcome to it. I would be happy to give it to those who save my kingdom.
No! Why didn't you idiots kick him? Why did you idiots kick him out? Why didn't you beat him and tie him up instead? Get out there and find him!
And both Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro are kicked out of the Ryugu Palace by Nami to go after Caribou.
Your Majesty, something's happened to Hody and his men. Their shackles are off.
The prison tower.
Filthy, pathetic humans. Hatred never disappears. Vengeance will have its day. Bring me Straw Hat, and I will kill him myself.
Am I drunk? Oh, my aching joints.
I aged myself on purpose.
First we'll have our revenge on the Straw Hats. Kapoof!
We will grind the humans into mush.
Yeah!
But this is Hody Jones's crew, but they are all incredibly aged, old-looking, and decrepit. You can't even tell that that's Hody Jones anymore.
What in the world?
Is that Hody and his men?
You'll never keep me trapped in here in this flimsy cage, you royal nincompoops. I'll tear the bars apart like... Ah!
And while Hody tries to break the bars with his frail body, he winds up breaking his own hand trying to break the bars. Just merely pulling it apart. Trying to pull it apart. Mind you, they don't budge at all because he's weak. He's the literal opposite of what he was when he fought Luffy. He's turned old now.
I'll tear this bars apart like... Yeah!
Captain Hody! How curious. And then the Minister of the Right.
So it's true. The energy steroids were the legendary pills stored inside the Tamate treasure box. I remember 10 years ago when the contents of the box suddenly vanished. We never found out who did it, and His Majesty chose to hide the truth to avoid a panic. And now that I think of it, that was around the time you left the royal guard, Hody. That's right. I stole them. You fools!
The pills inside the Tamate box are so ancient that even the legends surrounding them have grown vague. Some tales say it gave one the strength of 1,000. Others say they aged the imbiber. This was too strange and unique to be a national treasure. I suspect it was actually a dangerous drug that was labeled a treasure in order to keep it out of the people's hands. You opened a box that must never be opened, and were foolish enough to think you had gained great power without a price.
Shut your traitorous mouth, Natone!
And thus marks the end of your so-called vengeance.
Silence! We are the Avengers! The chosen warriors! We will slaughter humankind! And you, the traitor!
At this point, I feel only pity. I must rethink your punishment.
Fufuka Boshi, the shame of our people!
You killed my mother, but I do not hate you. I simply ask that you shut your mouth. I wouldn't want the children to hear your poison. See? All this, everything that Hody did, is now rendered basically inert. All his bravado, all of his posturing, his ambition is gone. Now, his drive is still there, but he lacks any means to ever see it to fruition. He can't, because what really allowed him to ascend to where he was the fear people had of him. But now, all you see is this decrepit old man, age beyond recognition. You can't even tell that it was Hody Jones before he started taking the energy steroids. This is the price of hatred. This is the pride. This is the price. And he's paying it dearly.
Minister of the Left! Peckham's and Baron Tamago are at the sweets factory.
So Big Mom's agents are here.
We have no sweets to send them this month. The factory was ransacked by Hody's goons.
Oh wait, and we have no sweets to send them this month. It's not the Minister of the Right who's saying this. We have no sweets to send them this month. The factory was ransacked by Hody's goons. And the sweets we did have were all given to the Straw Hat Pirates to be enjoyed at the feast.
Whether that excuse stands up to scrutiny is yet to be seen. After all, Big Mom of the Four Emperors is a monster, who would even destroy a nation for the sake of her sweets.
And that's the end of chapter 650. Onwards to chapter 651, A Voice from the New World. With the party in full swing, the festivities continue around the clock.
What? We're getting treasure out of this?
Nami, do you suppose that Luffy and the others are well?
Oh, they'll be fine.
Sounds like we'll be living on Easy Street. Say hello to the nouveau riche pirates. Oh!
Is the rock and roll life supposed to be this comfy?
Don't bother. Turns out that guy...
Maybe I should help them look.
Don't bother. Turns out that guy's actually worth 200 million.
What?
And they're talking about Caribou. Meanwhile, Luffy having returned to the main island to search for Caribou. Hey, check it out! Zoro! Sanji! I found him! That was easy! I guess your one punch knocked him out cold. That's no fun. And Caribou is just laying there unconscious with all the treasure, outside of his body.
Man, get a load of how much there is. And the Hairy King's really gonna give us all of it?
Think of all the meat you could buy with this! There's more to life than meat, Luffy. But I'm speaking on death rubbery ears. So he had all of this stuff stashed away in that swamp-like body of his. And they're trying to drag the treasure, but it's incredibly heavy. Ugh! Okay, let's haul this to the palace.
But how?
They have flying fishes. Which way's the town, Zoro? That way. Okay, we're going the opposite way. Hey! Because first, Luffy, your mistake was asking Zoro for directions! I'm sorry. No, there isn't. There's nothing more to life than meat? Yes, there is. Video games. Manga. Anime. Cosplay girls. There's so much more. Which way's the town, Zoro?
That way.
Okay, we're going the opposite way.
Hey!
Nearby, at the sweets factory.
Girl, listen to me, minister.
Can't you overlook it just this once? The factory has been attacked. The factory being attacked was an unforeseeable disaster.
Your civil unrest ain't our problem. I was expecting to have a snack. I'm hungry, darn it. You give us a month's worth of sweets and our mama lets you use her name.
Big Mom Pirates Fighter, Peckham's. And it's this big, well, relatively big, lion-looking guy. Is like a lion-looking guy.
That's how it works. That's the deal. Now I know we got an arrangement, so it pains me to have to say this. You know what happens if you make Mama angry? You get ruined!
As he takes off his shades and he has small, beady little eyes.
He's kinda cute when he's angry.
Now you gotta make things right.
Huh? There's people up ahead, and Luffy is walking towards the location where Peckham's is. Hey, that's the sweets factory! Remember when Papagu mentioned it? There's plenty of things: ice cream, cake, pie, ladies, swords, pop figures, anime tattoos, ladies, video games, Spider-Man 2, Saints, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Armored Core 6, ladies. There's so many things. More than meat. So many things. Hey, that's the sweets factory! Remember when Papagu mentioned it?
I just hope they have some flying fish there.
So this is the place where they make those awesome treats?
So this is the place where they make those awesome treats?
Yo, Ogata, it's good to see you because I can't wait to do the voice for Baron Tamago.
So this is the place where they make those awesome treats?
Hey, Sweets Factory! Oh, it's Straw Hat Luffy!
Luffy, is the party over?
What is he doing here? Yeah, I ate my fill. The meat was good, but those Fishman Island sweets were the best.
Gee, Straw Hat, Ixnay only eats sway.
Don't say anything.
Oh, hey, the catfish guy's here too.
Did he say sweets? Who are these jokers? Yeah, I see. He's Straw Hat Luffy, all right. So what's a pirate of his stature doing here? Hey, kid, what was that about sweets?
Mr. Peckham's, if you would just...
Who are you? You're not a fish man. Did you come to buy some sweets? Good idea. I just stuffed myself silly of them. Silly on them.
What's going on here? He just said he was eating some.
I assure you, there's a good reason.
Whoa, that guy's a talking lion. Oh, wait, we already have something like that on our crew. Peckham's, glaring at every man, woman, and child will not get your sweets back. Let us explore more peaceful means. Le tea party is in 4 days. 4 days. If we are able to leave on le morrow, we should return in time. Oh, great, another weirdo. Who are you?
Him.
A very bonjour to you, half-boiled pirates. Je m'appelle Baron Tamago, at your service. Big Mom Pirates, fighter of the Long-Legged people, Baron Tamago. Do you remember the name? Do remember the name, s'il vous plaît? Now, did I happen to hear that you had dined on les sweets?
He has a compass.
I sure did. In fact, I could go for some more if you got any. But the lack of just such is our current problem.
That logo you see adorning the factory is the Jolly Roger of our boss Charlotte Linlin. This is a sign that the island is the territory of the pirate emperor Big Mom. Meaning that Fishman Island is under the protection of the Big Mom name.
Big Mom, huh? She sounds nice. I'd like to meet her.
I'm afraid you do not comprehend. This is a business. They are allowed to display the Le flag in exchange for 10 tons of sweet every month.
Your French understanding is way better than you could have ever dreamed. It just goes in my head, and my brain just processed the best way to say it. And if I don't know it, I'm gonna look it up to make sure that I do it right, because I don't know if I have any French speakers in my on my channel. So, but I just want to, do right by them when I speak different languages.
I'm afraid you do not comprehend. This is the business. They are allowed to display the flag in the exchange for 10 tons of sweet every month.
10 tons?
Indeed, Mama does je t'aime, her sweets most dearly.
And je t'aime means love.
Je t'aime de tout mon cœur.
Which means I love you with all my heart. All of my people of the Kyushu 92 community, je t'aime de tout mon cœur.
Indeed, Mama does je t'aime her sweets most dearly.
On a stretch of sea in the New World, Whole Cake Island.
You sound happy, Mama. I just can't wait for that tea party. Oh, for the chance to have some of those delectable treats from Fishman Island. My stomach acid is overflowing just thinking about them. Oh boy, treats from Fishman Island. Are you as eager as I, my sweets? Of course we are. They're the best. Then you can wait for the party inside my belly. Wait, Mama, no, don't do it.
And there's a big, massive chomp sound. And then we see this young lady sitting on a chair across from this large individual. And she's sitting there silently with her eyes closed.
Mama, I just returned.
Ba-ya-ya-ya. I haven't done this voice for this character since I started doing reactions for One Piece. Oh my goodness. I haven't done the voice for this character in so long. Wow, it feels like forever. It's been over 10 years. I want to say maybe it might be less than 10 years. It feels like close to 10 years. It's been so long.
Mama, I have returned.
Ba-ya-ya-ya.
Yes, and how did it go, Bobbin?
We burned them and burned them. We beat them and burned them up.
Very good. The baked treats were so delicious there. I'm sure that the entire country burning must have smelled heavenly. What a shame. But alas, they could not produce the amounts of sweets we agreed upon.
Got any snacks?
Ba-ya-ya-ya. And if they can't give us sweets, they simply have to die. Ba-ya-ya-ya. If there's one thing I hate as much as a bitter dessert, it's someone who won't give you what they promised.
Oh, speaking of which, turns out Fishman Island might not have this month's shipment either.
What?
Great pirate, Big Mom, Charlotte Linland, one of the 4 emperors. And this Big Mom individual is incredibly large, and her saliva is so acidic that it's actually burning the floor.
Peckham sent me a call direct from Fishman Island. Should we burn it down too?
I won't have my shipment from Fishman Island! Put a call in right this instant!
And the girl that's sitting right next to Big Mom opens her eyes, and it turns out that she has 3 eyes. And her left eye is closed, but the one that's open right here and the one that's on her forehead open up as she's apparently looking at Big Mom. Sweet Factory, Fishman Island.
Mama especially loves the sweets. Mama especially loves the sweets from this particular factory. I will give you until tomorrow morning.
But, Baron, you do not understand. As I explained, the factory's cooking machinery is ruined. It will take days to repair it. 2 weeks at least.
I'm afraid that will not do. Hold up, Eggman. You mean to say you can't just wait a couple days?
I didn't realize you could be an emperor with such tiny balls.
Mama is not a man. She is only femme. I will have you know. She does not have les balls at all. She's a madame? All right then. What happens if the sweets are late?
And Sanji's thinking of Big Mom as this incredibly gorgeous-looking individual.
All right then. What happens if the sweets are late? The arrangement is void. Big Mom will send her fiercest corsairs to bring Fishman Island to utter ruination.
She's gonna destroy Fishman Island? Are you guys nuts? Who destroys the kingdom over sweets? We just saved this island!
And it's a Den Mushi off to the side of Baron Tamago and everyone else.
This'll be Mama. I already let her know the situation.
A call from Big Mom herself?
Peckums, are you going to... You answer! I hate getting yelled at.
And then Luffy walks right past the both of them and picks up the phone. Hello?
Hey!
Is this Big Mom?
Whoa!
You're not Tamago. Or Peckums. Who is this?
I'm Monkey D. Luffy, the guy who's gonna be king of the pirates! Stop!
Monkey D? Ah, Garp's grandson. I remember now. The very boy who stirred up that war 2 years ago.
Straw Hat, no! There aren't any sweets! I ate all of them! I ate all 10 tons!
So they're truly all gone? All 10 tons?
Straw Hat, you shouldn't have!
What does he think he's...
You shouldn't lie to me, you fool. You're covering up for the Fishman.
No, I did eat them! It's true! I just didn't realize they were promised to someone else. Look, we just got a whole bunch of treasure. You can have all of it. It's as payment for the sweets.
Treasure?
I can't eat treasure. I want my yummy sweets.
Wait a moment. Are those all filled with treasure?
All of them.
Mama, this is Tamago. I beg your patience. In the last few days, the Zatan Button and Captain Kid songs do of our pirate ships. Given this loss, we will need a quick inflow of le cash to ease our operations. Might we not save the anticipation for the sweets for another 2 weeks, and accept this treasure in exchange for our mercy in this special instance? I will find the most delectable treats to bring you on the way home, I promise!
Then there's silence.
Don't feed me that bullcrap, Tamago! How dare you suggest such a cowardly thing? What pirate with her sugar compromises on what she wants?
Excusez-moi, Mama.
However, I find myself intrigued by the nerve of this boy. As you wish, I will alter the target of my wrath from Fishman Island to you. I will remember that name, Monkey D. Luffy. Now come to the new world!
Just you wait. Now I've got a reason to find you. I can't leave this place in your hands. I'm gonna find you in the new world, kick your butt, and announce that Fishman Island is my territory!
And that's the end of chapter 651. Oh, the seeds have already been sown. We got a question corner, and then we can move on to chapter 652. Orochi! 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 There, I called your name 5 times for no good reason. Hello, here's my question. It's one of the serious ones for once. On pages 198 to 199 of volume 64, Chopper says he only needs Rumble Balls for 1 form, and the other 6 he can transform into at will. Does this include Guard Point? On page 38 of volume 62, Chopper ate a Rumble Ball and turned into Guard Point. How come? Explain it, or I'll stop being your fan. Signed, Odachi's supporter. Answer: yes, you're right. In Volume 65, we found out that Chopper can use his monster form safely with a Rumble Ball, which means that he doesn't need them for the other forms. What does this mean? Take it away, reader. Escape is the best form of cowardice. In Chapter 605 of Volume 62, Chopper eats a Rumble Ball-like object before using Guard Point. But with his new training, Chopper shouldn't need it. Of course, I understand he was just eating the popular new Rumble Ball candy, but I'm sure plenty of readers were tricked into thinking it was an actual Rumble Ball. Stop trying to confuse us, Chopper. Signed, escape is the best form of cowardice. Answer: jeez, thanks a lot for confusing everyone, Chopper. Honestly, do you have any idea how many readers sent me letters about this? You shouldn't be chowing down on candy on the seafloor. So anyway, let's take a look at Chopper's present forms. Brain Point, which we've seen before. Walk Point, which is his four-legged form. Rest in peace to Toshiko Fujita, who only got to voice Big Mom in this episode. So Big Mom had two Japanese voice actors, but the one who voiced Big Mom in her first vocal appearance in the anime episode passed away. Hold on. Yeah, Toshiko Fujita for Toei Animation, the first half. And then she's been voiced by Mami Koyama, ever since. Yeah. Yeah, she was the voice of Big Mom. And she voiced a ton of other characters, too. But Mama Koyama is the new voice of Big Mom now. Okay, interesting. All right, I didn't know this. I didn't know this at all. Interesting. But we have Walk Point, which is his four-legged form. Heavy Point, which is the one he used to go up against Dosun. We have his Guard Point, which we've seen before. His Kung Fu Point, which he used when they were about to try and take him. So did the original voices for Kizaru and Roger. Yeah, Roger had, Kizaru, Roger, and don't forget Whitebeard as well, because his Japanese voice actor passed too. So the voice actor for Crocodile is now doing the voice of Whitebeard. So it's basically like that. And I think we had like someone who was doing the voice for Sengoku, and he passed. And I believe the original voice for Sengoku was the same person who would do the voice for Heihachi in Tekken, and also I think he was the father of Blackbeard's voice actor as well, because I think Blackbeard and Sengoku's voice actors were related, at least the first one for Sengoku, I think. I might be wrong. All right. There we go. Oh, snap. I got a new subscriber. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's continue on. So we have the Kung Fu point, which we saw when they tried to arrest them. And then we have Horn point, which you use against Daruma. And then we have Monster point. Requires Rumble Ball, and it has a 3-minute time limit. Can transform into at will. Sometimes he likes to eat Rumble Ball candy for fun, but it doesn't do anything to his forms. Chapter 652, A Premonition of Stormy Seas. Decks of the World, Volume 34. Shift Station, Sunday Special, Station Master Chimney. And Chimney is now the Station Master in place of Kokoro.
How are things going, Jinbei? Are the Sun Pirates working well under Big Mom's jurisdiction? I cannot fully describe her. I cannot truthfully describe her as reasonable, but we are managing. To think that a man of your stature would work for anyone other than Fisher Tiger, I worry that you would chafe at the thought. Not at all. Being a leader holds no particular allure for me. Affiliating ourselves with one of the 4 emperors in the New World is simply the best method of ensuring the safety of my men. And only that? It seems a great boon to the island as well. It is only through this connection of yours that Fishman Island has remained safely intact under Big Mom in the years since the death of Whitebeard. Merely a happy coincidence. Normally I would be the one to offer the island protection, but with the bounty and all, well, quite. And yet, Your Majesty, I think that I will soon be leaving Big Mom's organization. Oh, meaning you will accept Luffy's invitation? Yes, I have my reasons. However, my world is one of word and honor. I am bound not by paper contracts but promises and symbolic drinks of brotherhood. If I am to cut my old ties, I would have to go back on my word, and there is some possibility that this will anger Big Mom in a way that could bring harm upon the island. If there's one thing wrong with you, Jinbei, it's your sense of responsibility. You bear too much burden. If it should come to that, we have our own means of defense. If it should come to that, we have our own means of defense.
And Jinbei is silent, as he's, obviously speaking to Neptune.
As it happens, on this very day, we gained 70,000 rough-and-tumble soldiers from the Fishman district. And if we should lose the protection of Big Mom's flag, there is another I would seek to borrow. A Jolly Roger bearing a straw hat upon the skull. I see. A most formidable flag indeed.
Then we get the Minister of the Right who chimes in.
Your Majesty!
What's the matter, Minister?
I've just remembered something that absolutely must be addressed. It regards the stolen treasure you offered to Luffy and his crew. Should they find it, if they do recover it, I must ask that you demand the Tamate box back.
Nonsense. I would never ask for something I had already given to another as a gift. What? It will explode when opened? Why would you arm it with a bomb?
Your Majesty, it was armed 10 years ago when the box was finally empty, so that if the thieves were so bold as to strike again, they would pay a terrible price. So the chest was armed with explosives to set off an enormous blast when opened. As key holder to the treasure vault and the Tamate box, this lies upon my conscience.
Very well, if Luffy's group should retrieve the treasures. You have my permission to explain the circumstances to them. However, if they happen to open the chest on the spot...
That is what I'm afraid of.
Your Majesty, Luffy and his crew have just returned to the palace.
Oh, thank goodness! Nothing has happened to them. I suppose my concerns were for naught.
And there's silence as everything is explained, and the minister and everyone else is all like,
You gave all the treasure to Big Mom?
Isn't she crazy? She says she'll destroy Fishman Island just because you ran out of sweets. I mean, I could understand if it was meat, sure, but sweets? So don't worry, I told her right off.
An emperor!
You picked a fight with Big Mom? You shouldn't have done that.
Oh, I knew you were strong, Luffy.
That's not the issue,
goes Usopp.
No, Zop yelled at me.
It's Usopp, and I'm sorry.
Oh dear, Now I'll have to cut ties with Big Mom before things get more complicated. Listen, you need to make sure that you do not rub Big Mom the wrong way any further.
Exactly! You think I don't know an emperor could obliterate every single one of us?
Minister, is it me or is this a really bad turn of events?
What a disaster!
What a disaster! If the tomate box falls into Big Mom's hands, and she should open it herself, the resulting explosion will be seen as a direct assault from Luffy's group!
Look, I know how it goes. You're a guy. Sometimes you just have to stick up for yourself, but...
Totally. It doesn't matter who it is.
Why did you have to give them all of the treasure? That's what she's mad about?
And she's beaten up Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji to the point of bloodying their entire bodies.
Come on, Kay. Let's go to the new world.
Talk about a
Depressing start to a journey.
Fishman Island, outside this week's factory.
Oh, heck, somehow someone stole all my precious treasure. Now who would have done that?
Because they're gonna get murdered. And Caribou's back up again. With a mountain of treasure in one hand and the princess's secret in the other, I was all set to curry favor with a certain someone, and now it's all ruined.
Huh? What's with the crowd? And who are those guys lugging those sacks around? That's them, my mystery thieves.
time for some premature burials.
Hey, I worked hard to steal that treasure, so give it back!
Who is that? Feels like I've seen that guy before. Here we go. Wet Hair Caribou. A hot new rookie. A 200 million berry. A 200 million bounty, huh?
200?
Swab, swab!
Gatling gun!
And Caribou just opens fire on Baron Tamago and Peckham's.
Mr. Peckham's!
What the heck is that? A turtle? And then Arms, because it shows a big shell with clothes around it, but then arms start to go into the sleeves of the clothing. And Peckham's just pops right back up. Devil fruit powers! And then Caribou brings out this big scythe.
Of course.
But you're nothing more than a lowly Zoan type. And before the blade even gets towards Peckham's one-shots Caribou in an instant. Now remember, Caribou is a Logia user. But Peckham's just hits him directly in the chest and bodies him instantly, sending him flying in the opposite direction. Shocking everybody, and Caribou is just left slumped laying on the ground.
Logia types that think they're invincible don't last long in the wild.
Peckham's bounty 330 million berries.
There's nothing more disappointing than a half-boiled challenger. We return to Mama Peckham's.
And both Tamago and Peckham's get on a fish and just go in a different direction. Meanwhile, in the New World, close to the Red Line, another ship coming from 2 o'clock! And there's some Navy ships here as well.
We've got pirate ships rising from the depths, one after the other! What's going on out there?
And then a cannon fires. Here comes a big one!
Look out, Captain Toshigi!
I'll protect you with my loving embrace!
Oh, not again!
As Toshigi, apparently this is Toshigi, dodging out of the way of her loving crew, and she catches a cannonball on the tip of her sword, and it rolls up her sword, and she flings it in the opposite direction. It's like when Mihawk misdirected some bullets away from him during his first appearance, or repelling the Muggy Ball back at Buggy. The flow of swordsmanship, where you can just take the path of a bullet and then redirect it someplace else without it losing any momentum. That's swordsman skill.
Woo! That's our cute little captain! Take this seriously, please! We're practicing cannon fire defense, remember? You're lecturing the mass, Captain!
Man, she's hot. The lone bright spot of filthy old G5.
Enough of the horseplay in the midst of battle. You're going to lose your lives if you keep this up. This is the problem with G5. Such pathetic excuses for soldiers. Such pathetic excuses for sailors.
Grand Line, Naval Base 5, G5 Captain, Toshigi. And she's, she pretty much kind of looks relatively the same, except her hair has grown out just a little bit more.
I will not allow you to belittle me for being a woman!
Shut up, Toshigi. I'm interrogating.
Smoker!
I see. So you were held captive by the pirate Odie Jones down on the seafloor. That would explain why we didn't see any rookies coming through Fishman Island for the past month, as well as the cockroach swarm of pirates we're seeing here today.
Captive? No! We were slaves! But there was a big civil war down there, and some other pirates came along and freed us. But we ain't gonna tell you their names, because we owe them that!
Just spill the beans, you fool! These ain't normal soldiers, sailors, they're G5! They stab needles into pirates and use them to fish for sharks! They make campfires out of pirates! It's a lawless unit of crazed sailors that ignore all orders from HQ! If we're stuck with them, they'll torture us to death!
Vice Admiral!
Can I have the real Vice Admiral, can I have the real purdy one here?
Ah! No! No! We'll tell you who it was! Have mercy! It was the Straw Hat Pirates!
I knew that already, you idiot.
And that's the end of chapter 652. Onwards to chapter 653. I skipped over 2 whole chapters with saying that. How did I go from 652 to 655? How did that work? Onwards to chapter 653, The Hero Hat. Decks of the World, Volume 35. Ice Fish Mermaid Kokodo's Elegant Day Off. Well, this explains where Kokodo is, and she's swimming with a shark, some fish, and Yokozuna. Mermaid Cafe, Coral Hill, Fishman Island.
Madam Charlie, Luffy Chin's crew is about to leave the island, so...
Is that right? Then you better see them off.
Thanks! Madam, can we go too?
All of you? I suppose I'll need to shut down the cafe for a bit. All those customers we lost because of that idiot Hody will be trickling back. I'll need your help to get the cafe buzzing again, girls.
Of course, madam!
And then while everyone leaves, Kami stays behind.
Oh!
And she's looking at the crystal ball of Madame Charlie, and it's been split!
My crystal ball? I'm done with it. For good this time. No more fortunes. I never wanted to see a future as terrifying as Fishman Island brought to ruin by Strawhead Luffy. Of course, I'd be happiest just to find out that it was all a rare misreading on my part.
But it's the fact that she's never made a bad prediction that has her so terrified. What she saw might be a year or more off. There's no proof yet that she was wrong. But, madam, Luffy's crew would never do such a...
Kami, forgive me for doubting your friends. I understand how foolish I was. I can truly put my trust in that boy in the straw hat, right?
Yes, you can!
And then we cut to Shirahoshi, who's crying her eyes out, holding on to Luffy.
Must you truly leave, Luffy? And just when I finally made a real friend! Can't you stay just one more day? No, 1 week! No, 1 more year?
You know, I don't think I've ever seen you when you weren't crying, Wimpy Hoshi.
I'm sorry. I won't be such a crybaby anymore.
Ah, to think the day would come when the mermaid princess of Fishman Island herself would shed tears at our departure. I wish I could live here for another year. And this is Sanji. Very good. Yo! I do believe I've got my new single about the dream life on Fishman Island ready to go. A 1, a 2, a 3. Waking up at the crack of dawn. It's good morning, maid. You know, that's a good idea. You should stay here, Nosebleed. And who are you calling Nosebleed, Mosshead? Oh, money mo. You better watch out next time we're sitting down to eat. You don't want to find out what happens when you piss off the cook. And it's Sanji and Zoro who are just going at it. Actually, I do. I want to see if I can digest poison and razor blades. And then Brooke is just singing. And then we have the Minister of the Left.
Your Majesty, they must be warned. They need to know that if the Tamate box Luffy sent to Big Mom explodes.
But then again, look at them.
It's all over. One of the 4 emperors has it in for us. We're marching into the new world to our deaths. I sure hope Big Mom forgives us when she sees all the treasure we gave her.
Both Chopper and Usopp are just down because of what Luffy did towards Big Mom.
I don't have the heart to tell him you've already sent her a bomb.
Can you imagine just how much in a bad way Usopp and Chopper would have been if they realized that Luffy nonchalantly sent a bomb to Big Mom along with the treasure? Can you imagine that information?
You planted this bomb a decade ago, yes? Might it not fail to detonate?
That's the spirit, Your Majesty. The palace is damp and drafty after all, and it's not a guarantee that Big Mom will even open it. Let us simply pray for good luck.
What are you two whispering about?
And this is Robin speaking.
Huh? What's this?
And we have what looks to be like this big watch-looking contraption in Nami's hands.
It's a log post type used in the New World. Please take it. You simply can't travel up there with only one needle to follow.
There are 3 needles. Why is that?
Take a look at the log post you followed while sailing the first half of the Grand Line.
Whoa, what's that?
Whoa, what's that? A new log pose? It looks sweet.
Oh. I thought the log had set itself by now, but it's swinging bit by bit.
It has set itself. The process takes no more than half a day here. On the Grand Line, we allow the log post to read the unique magnetic field emanating from the next island, so that it may serve as the compass through the treacherous waters ahead. But in the New World, not only do the currents and weather patterns change, but so do the magnetic fields that were our only means of navigation.
Huh?
Some islands will even lose their field abruptly, right in the middle of your voyage.
You're joking. How can you ever get to the next island?
With only one needle, you will be ruined. But what happens when you have 3?
It looks like one of them is jiggling the same way the single log post does, but the other 2 are holding steady.
Each of these needles is tuned to the field of a different island. In other words, you may choose your path from among 3 courses, and it is your instinct alone that will prove the difference between life and death. Only a truly experienced navigator can successfully determine the safest route based on the tiniest movements of the needles. There's one simple rule of thumb. The more abnormal the movement, the more dangerous the situation, for it indicates that the island ahead is suffering some anomaly that is disrupting its magnetic field.
Oh, no way! I don't like that. I don't like this at all. I'd rather be in the dark about that.
But why? If you know the safest route, surely it will give you the best odds of...
It reached danger levels! Smash that thing at once!
Yeah, let me see. And then Luffy just comes in and wraps around Nami, and she's just terrified. This was funny to see in the anime as well.
Sokka.
Ah! Yummy!
And you know how Usopp was screaming. Whoa! Check out the way the middle one is shaking. I bet that island's really neat.
No! You overheard! You stay out of this, Luffy. I'm the navigator and I determine our course.
That's ridiculous. I'm the captain.
We beg you, Captain. Heed our navigator's advice.
Nami's so cute when she's afraid. I've got just a tune for this. A requiem for us.
Hey gang, we're all ready to sail. I've got the hang of the surfacing controls too. Shall we?
Let's go.
No, I gotta help rebuild the factory. Can you make it without me?
We're fine. We had enough fun on the way in.
Yeah, that's right. We don't need your stupid help. We're on a crash course with disaster already. You said it. We're at war with common sense.
Poor boys are in despair.
Don't forget about us. Come back and visit.
And it's the mermaids from the Mermaid Cafe towards Sanji. You bet your tails I will. You girls are the all blue inside my heart.
Cheapest dream I ever heard of.
What was that?
No, isn't Sanji funny?
I have nothing but gratitude for what you have done for us.
And this is Fukaboshi. You remember that scene in the anime? Usopp's face was priceless, and the way Usopp's voice actor was capable of making his voice go Yummy! And was shaking his voice repeatedly over and over. I still can't do it, but the way he did it was perfect. But Fukaboshi to Luffy.
I have nothing but gratitude for what you have done for us. Many thanks. May your journeys be safe.
Sure thing.
Next time you see us, we'll be heading the greatest force the ocean floor has ever seen. Woo, Mambo!
That's right! Pretty soon, the tales of the great knight Neptune will be replaced with a new legend, Fasolatito!
I can't wait.
Jamon.
Neptune never says Jamon throughout any sort of instance in this entire thing, even though he says it in the anime. Jinbei! And then Jinbei just nods towards Luffy. All right. Set the sails, folks. We're leaving port. So long, Fishman Island. And everyone is cheering.
Come back sometime.
Come back for more sweets and meat. You humans aren't so bad after all. And that goes for you too, Raccoon and Robot.
No skeletons?
Take care, everybody.
Come have some octopus fritters anytime you want.
We love you guys.
Kami, Hachi, and Papagu, respectively. We love you too, Skeleton. Most kind of you. And then Shirahoshi pops up.
Luffy, if we should ever meet again.
Oh, Wimpy Hoshi.
Shirahoshi! Goes Luffy and Simchi.
I will no longer be the crybaby you know now. So I hope you will escort me on another enjoyable stroll.
A stroll? To your mom's grave again?
Someplace further next time. Perhaps the surface, or to a real forest.
Oh, right. You've never been out of the water. You're on. Next time I see you, we'll take a trip.
You promise?
And then, Shirahoshi sticks her pinky out. And then he wraps his pinky around hers. You got it. It's a promise.
Where's our responsibility in all this, Luffy?
Precisely. Promises are meant to be kept to the death, remember?
I'll promise you too, Shirahoshi.
And me.
So will I.
Well, with this many promises.
Well, with this many promises, I'm sure it will be fulfilled.
No more crying. Got it?
Of course.
And then Luffy and crew start to sail away from Shirahoshi as she holds onto her pinky finger in the promise of the entire Straw Hat crew. And she's just smiling to herself as we cut to Neptune.
Do not forget this debt we owe.
Never, goes all the princes.
Daddy, buy me a straw hat. I want to play heroes.
You know they only sell those on the surface, don't you?
Then go up and get me one.
Don't be silly. There are all kinds of terrible humans up there who hate our kind and...
There are?
Well, only a few of them. And some of them are good, strong folks like Luffy. Oh, Jinbei, good timing.
I couldn't help but overhear. I can send up a trading ship for you.
Really, boss?
1 shipment of hero hats.
And then the Straw Hat crew starts to sail outside of Fishman Island. You gotta love that mermaid paradise.
Get your heads in gear, people. Once we're out at sea again, there's no refuge. We'll be navigating stormy waters once more. What's that, Frankie?
I'm using pieces of powerfully buoyant Taloff wood to lift the ship up. The number of blocks on the line controls the speed of descent.
And Luffy's just standing on the mast. Well, just standing on the bow.
What's up, Luffy?
Once we get to the surface, we'll be on the same sea as Shanks. Then, I can't wait to see him. Keep this hat safe for me. This hat means a lot to me. Promise that you'll give it back to me someday when you've become a great pirate.
I know you can do it. You're my little brother.
Try to remember what you still have!
Go all the way to the top. And this is Ace, Jinbei, and Rayleigh, respectively. The end of the ocean is a place they call the New World. And this is Kobe. The people who can guide that new age are gathering on the oceans. And the one who can master those oceans will become king of the pirates. Once we reach the surface, we'll be on the mightiest sea in the world.
About darn time. I'll cut 'em all to size.
Just a little bit longer, Laboon. Another half lap.
We'll take you wherever you need to go.
You name it, Sonny. You name it, the Sonny can go there.
Get as hurt as you want, people!
You won't lack for food with me on board.
You got at least one warrior of the sea at your back!
And then Robin's just laughing. Here we go, people! To the new world! As they're making their way back to the surface. And that's the end of chapter 653. We got an SBS if we can move on to chapter 654. Question: Mr. Onichi, you once claimed Nami was an I cup. Has her bust size changed in the new world? What cup is she now? Tell us, sign Rico, Emi, and Nanami. Answer: trust me, I've been getting this question from the moment we came back from the time skip. It's time to bring an end to this. There's only one man for the job. Sanji!
You rang? What's up? You need my bus scope? Okay, time to lock on. Nami and Robin's,
And then he suffers a nosebleed.
Sanji?
Okay, what cup size do you think Nami and Robin's butts are? Send me your ideas! Gave up. Question: in chapter 653, Frankie mentioned special wood that floats really well. It's occurred to me, is this related to the incredible floating wood that kept Mr. 3 afloat in water in chapter 175 back in Alabasta? What's the answer? Sign Daicha. Answer: you notice? Excellent. In the SBS corner of volume 25, I revealed the truth behind Mr. 3's incredible buoyancy despite his devil fruit powers, and this is the same thing. This is what I was talking about back then. Let me guess, you all thought I was just making it up back then just to cover up a mistake, right? Wrong. I already had this entirely planned out. No, really, you gotta believe me. Question: I noticed that pretty much all the women in One Piece are well endowed, while the men are all ripped with huge six-packs. My mom says this is the manifestation of the ideal body you wish to have, Mr. Oda. Is that right? Sign: I love Marco. Answer: that's right. I want to have a huge, beautiful chest. Correct reaction.
Not the other kind!
Chapter 655, A Gam of Whales. Decks of the World, Volume 36. Water 7, Mozu and Kiwi's Bar, as Lola and her pirate crew chill at Mozu and Kiwi's Bar. So we're having people who've come across the Straw Hat crew chilling with each other, but they don't even know it. Upon leaving the shores of Fishman Island.
Looks like smooth sailing. So smooth it's
scaring me.
The ship heads into the waters of the Grand Line second half. The ascent to the surface of the new world continues. And Nami is taking a shower using rain clouds. Smart. Very cost effective, too.
What do you think of my shower tempo? Want to give it a whirl?
No, I'm good. I wiped myself clean 2 days ago. That cloud sure looks sweet and tasty, though.
What? Something sweet and tasty in the bath?
No kidding. I see something tasty, all right.
Step away from the cloud, Chopper.
And then the cloud that she's using to shower turns into a thundercloud, floats past Chopper, and then we just see the entire section, the entire back half of the Sunny go off in a big electrical discharge as we hear two individuals screaming, which pretty much were Brook and Sanji because they're trying to peep in on Nami. Nami doesn't have a problem with Chopper because Chopper ain't interested in that sort of thing.
I don't think I want to eat that cloud after all.
And then Nami's now chilling in the bath. Oda, thank you for the illustration. You didn't have to show it, but this is enough.
Ah, now this is the life. I've been waiting 2 years to take a bath on the Sunny. Is there anything more luxurious than a hot bath while you stare out at deep sea as dark as the night sky?
Are they safe on deck without you in charge?
I'll be done before we reach the upward currents, and if any giant monsters show up, the others will handle it.
Hurry, Usopp, hurry! You don't rush the master. Giant fish are going to take more than your garden variety rope to haul in.
And Usopp is making a multi-pronged rope to hook in some fish.
Well, this looks like fun.
I didn't think of this on the way down because I was so excited about seeing Fishman Island. But now that we're making sure to catch some deep sea fish on the way up, So, but now we're making sure to catch some deep sea fish on the way up, so Sanji can cook them once we reach the surface.
I just hope they go well with cola.
I like it. Nothing like a good feast to celebrate reaching the new world. Fry that ugly sucker up, and salt him good.
I bet he would taste good with mayonnaise.
And that eel would go great with soy sauce.
Well, whatever the case, Sanji can make it taste good. Gum. Jet pistol!
You just want to eat the mayonnaise one! You sure that isn't too big for us?
Hurry up and catch it!
Capture star! Got it!
And they latch on to that, that blobfish. They latch onto a blobfish and start to reel it in.
We caught ourselves a deep sea fish!
Are you sure that's really a fish?
Are you sure that's really a fish and not some old dude? Old dude?
And then something starts to come up behind the globfish and tries to eat it.
Ah! Our fish turned into bait!
And then a bigger fish comes and eats that fish that ate their blobfish.
Ah! Not again! If this keeps up, the ship's going to flip over! What are these things, Matryoshka fish? What are these things, Matryoshka fish?
And it's just like a big, gigantic eel-type creature.
Well, the ship is shaking and I can hear shouting from the deck.
I suppose leaving things in their hands was a mistake.
One sword style. 360-pound phoenix!
And then we get Sanji, who's back on board with Brook.
Wow, thanks guys. Can't wait to cook these deep sea fish up.
Why are you burned to a crisp?
And it should, because Sanji, his whole body, his hair is frizzed out and electrified. His clothes are singed with holes in it. And Brook is right behind him, not looking any better. There's always a bigger fish. No true words have been spoken. I believe this chapter was made after Phantom Menace. Can y'all believe that Phantom Menace came out in 1999? The prequel came out in the 1900s. Like, it's 1999, but still. The prequel trilogy for Star Wars came out in 1999. Before the 2000s even started. Good God, that was a long time ago. I was a kid back then. I was 7 years old. I was 7 years old when Phantom Menace came out. Because I was born in 92. Good God, it's an old movie. Kind of still holds up even to this day.
360-pound phoenix! Wow, thanks guys. Can't wait to cook these deep sea fish up.
Why are you burned to a crisp?
You haven't heard the best part yet. There are 2 more fish inside the big one.
Anyway.
You remember renting the VHS at the library? I think I went to theaters to see Phantom Menace. I think I was a kid and I went to the theaters with my family to see Phantom Menace. Though it could have just been me and my sister, or it could have just been me, because my youngest sister, she was probably like 3 years old when the movie came out, because she was born in 96. And my other sister, she was born in 93. I'm so grateful to be the oldest. But yeah, it's a long time ago. Let's continue. Let's focus. We're almost done.
Anyways, are we even moving? It kind of seems like we're sinking.
That's just your imagination.
Whoa! What's that? A snake? A giant sea snake? Ah!
Go on, get closer. We gotta eat that one too.
The ship can't pull that kind of weight.
Wait a minute. I think that's...
Huh?
A white strum! It's an enormous white whirlpool that appears without warning near the seafloor, like a live writhing dragon.
A whirlpool on the seafloor?
Ah!
See, Luffy is excited to see this, and Usopp is just concerned.
Oh my goodness! Is that a white strum? Once a ship is caught in the stream, it turns up days later, an unfathomable distance away and entirely empty.
Meaning its crew's entirely dead? We gotta get out of here, people!
The ship goes somewhere incredibly far away? So it's like a magic warp zone.
No, you idiot!
See, this is the reason why you probably shouldn't give Luffy video games, because he'll think you can do what you do in video games in real life. So it's probably a good idea that there aren't any video games for Luffy to be distracted by. Yeah.
Hurry, gang! We'll need to get away from that current!
You remember the big hype about the fight between Yoda and Count Dooku? I remember it as well. I was in the theaters when I saw that, and people got hype when Yoda ignited his saber for Attack of the Clones. I remember seeing all of these movies in theaters. It was something else. I think I saw every Star Wars prequel and sequel trilogy movie in theaters. I didn't see the original trilogy, but yeah. Let's focus here. I could talk about my childhood all day.
Hurry, gang! We need to get away from that current! Finally! Our navigator shows up! Let's get moving!
Ah! What is that thing?
We caught it!
What are you thinking? How are we supposed to control the ship with that disgusting beast dragging us down?
Just look!
Just look! The fish is slipping into the whirlpool!
Crap! We gotta haul it in!
No! Cut it loose!
What? What's more important, the fish or your life?
And Usopp, Zoro, and Luffy, and Sanji are all like, why do we have to let it go? Even Zoro's letting off this horrified face of, potential food being lost.
What's more important, the fish or your life? Honestly, the trouble you managed to get us into when I take my eyes off of you for 10 measly minutes. Use Kuda Burst, Frankie.
It's a bit super late for that.
Huh? Oh.
See?
Uh-oh.
Woo! Everyone, grab onto something!
As the fish they're linked to gets pulled into the whirlpool, and they get pulled into the whirlpool as well. And they just keep going. Huh? We stopped! I think we just hit something. What? And they stop because they flow right into the path of a pod of whales. Laboon! And Brooke is looking, thinking back to when he last saw Laboon. We promise we'll sail around the world and return here. Oh! Laboon? Oh, look at the size of you!
Don't be silly. Laboon's back at the start of the Grand Line. There's no way he could slip through the red line at that size.
It's a miracle. An entire gam of island whales.
Look, a couple of them have scarred snouts like Laboon.
Even the marks are the same. Wow, you could have fooled me.
Gather up all of the crew. Time to ship out Briggs's brew. Stop, Laboon! Listen to the song. It's me, Brooke!
Return to your senses, man. You've got the wrong whale.
Laboon!
Look, this ain't no whale-watching trip. We may be out of the stream, but it's still pretty dangerous. First a head count. Did we lose anyone? Nami!
Here.
Robin!
Present.
Okay, that's everyone. Let's get out of here. One collision with these giant whales could rock this ship to pieces.
Count the rest of us too!
There are 6 more of us alive and well, assuming anyone cares.
Give us our orders, Nami.
We're fine where we are.
Hear that? We're fine where we are, darn it. Enjoy the whale show.
What is your problem?
Sanji suffers what you would call indefinite sympitis. It can be infectious if your will is weak and your simp organ is enlarged or inflamed, or if you are suffering from internal simping. It is, for the most part, quite difficult to cure for those who have been exposed the majority of their life. Sanji is at the stage 4 right now. There is no turning back.
Enjoy the whale show.
What is your problem?
A group of whales this size creates its own current. Set the sails and make sure we're following the group.
Then this must be Laboon's home. Are there any relatives present?
Be careful, Brooke. Are you looking for a smaller whale that was separated from its pod?
Are you looking for a smaller whale that was separated from its pod 50 years ago? Have no fear. He is on the other side of the world, safe and sound. He is surely full grown by now. Your little one as well.
Make sure we hit the current.
Got it. As they're keeping up with the rest of the whales. Yo ho ho ho, yo ho ho ho, yo ho ho ho, yo ho ho ho. Gather up all of the crew, time to ship out Binks's brew. Scene will blows to where who knows the waves will be our guide. Or across the ocean's tide, the sunset is boiling wild. See the sky, birds singing in circles passing by. Yo-ho-ho, 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 yo-ho-ho. And they're just singing this, and then one of the whales kind of props up the sunny on the front of its snout, and it's smiling, and it likes the music. Huh? Hey, are you gonna give us a ride?
Woo! Well, let's take it up on its offer. It looks like they're heading for an upward current.
Gather up all of the crew, time to ship up Binks's brew. Could be today, could be today, could be tomorrow, Could be today, could be tomorrow, twilight dreaming. I'm just trying to go with the rhythm of the song. No longer can we now see hand shadows still waving free. Why worry? There's sure to be a moonlit night again. Endless, aimless, this story on the uproarious seas. I guess they cut off some parts because it was a little bit longer. Look, we're almost at the surface! And as they get closer and closer to the surface, the pods of whales breach along with the sunny. We made it! Yeah, it's the new world!
What awful weather!
Yo-ho-ho-ho! Stormy skies!
Gales of powerful wind.
Fierce waters below.
We're far off the needle's course.
I can see seas of red!
A surging ocean of fire. It's like the entrance to hell.
Bring it on! And that is the end of chapter 654. We got an SBS if we can move on to chapter 655. Question. Hello, Mr. Oda. When Sanji met the mermaids in volume 62 and had a huge nosebleed, Chopper claimed he had type S blood. Isn't that kind of weird? What other blood types are there? Give us the blood types of the entire crew while you're at it. Signed, Beppo. Answer. Okay, here. Luffy is F. Zoro is XF. Nami is X. Sanji is S. Well, Usopp is S. Sanji is SRH. Chopper is X. Robin is S. Frankie is XF. And Brook is X. One of these things doesn't make sense. But I'll leave it to y'all to figure that one out. They're mostly split between F, S, X, and XF, but elsewhere around the world, blood types are known by different designations, so in some places they can be considered type A, B, C, and so on. Odachi! Question. Is this guy, the blobfish, on page 55 of volume 62, the same as this guy? It is, but he doesn't have blood. See? You were able to figure it out. But he doesn't have blood. Yo! But is this guy on page 55 of volume 62 the same as this guy? It is, isn't it? When I looked up hideous creatures, it turned up a picture of this guy. How did you find it, Odachi? Were you looking up hideous creatures too? You must have a lot of free time. Yeah, I mean, you gotta. That's how you get the creative juices flowing. Sign now in class. Answer. Yes, that's it. The very same. But I don't type in weird searches like that. Mine are way weirder. I can believe it. The creature is known as a blobfish, and you'll always see a picture of one in any book on deep-sea fish, because it's so weird. Of course, they're not the size of ships, as they are in the story. It's a real deep-sea fish that grows to about a foot in length. It's also the same fish Luffy wanted to eat with mayonnaise just now in chapter 654. Chapter 655! Punk Hazard. Decks of the World, Volume 37. Water 7, Galileo Company's genius 10-year-old secretary. So, Iceberg doesn't get like a sexy secretary or anything of that nature, but he does have a super smart genius secretary, which should help out Galileo in the long run. And then we also have the mouse of Iceberg, and it's in a nice little suit as well. Then we have the Sunny, getting tossed up all around in these treacherous seas. It's stormy, there's a volcano in the background, the waves are basically tsunamis.
island! There's a volcano erupting! You have to listen to me, Luffy. We have 3 needles and none of them are pointing to that island. This is weird and dangerous even for the new world.
Safe travels, friends and family of Laboon!
Who cares? We're getting off there. We can see it already, so we don't need any needles. We can't. There's no way we can get any closer. It's a sea of fire out there. I just don't get it.
Luffy, I got some real bad news for you. You know those deep-sea fish you caught? Well, the parts I hadn't cut up yet are all burned to a crisp.
No! The fish are burning up in the ocean! It's only a matter of time before the ship catches fire!
Nah, the Sunny's super safe.
That's besides the point. Why would you want to cross the fire? Look at all those fish bones floating around! Bones!
You rang? And then someone starts crying from the inside of the Sunny. And is the Denden Mushi crying? Whoa, what's the deal with this transponder snail crying? What's wrong, buddy? You got a tummy ache?
That's an emergency alert, dummy. Someone's putting out an SOS.
I was about to say SBS. Y'all can tell that I've been reading too many of these volumes when I see SOS as SBS. I'm sorry. So if I pick up the call, we can reach them?
Stop, Luffy. The majority of emergency alerts can't be trusted. It'll likely be a trap set by the Navy. If you pick it up and they trace the signal, they'll know where we are. Good thinking, Robin. We have to think hard before we...
Hello, Luffy speaking, future Pirate King.
Not so fast! Don't tell them everything!
Help me! It's so cold. Is that you, boss?
No, I ain't your boss. Is it cold there?
All my people cut down, one after the other. We're being killed by a samurai! Ah!
Hey, what's your name? Where are you?
Someone help! We're trapped here on Punk Hazard!
Ah! Ah! He's dead!
And everyone is listening in, and the ones who are scared are Usopp, Chopper, and Brook.
I smell a mystery.
There's no mystery about it! That guy just got sliced to bits!
Let's forget that could have been a clever... Let's not forget that could have been a cleverly acted trap.
Calm down, everybody! Come on!
Samurai, huh? Sounds familiar, Brook.
Indeed. Samurai is the title of the swordsman from the land of Wano. Wano is a nation with closed borders. No outsiders are allowed within. They aren't even affiliated with the world government, and these samurai are so powerful that even the Navy does not dare to breach their territory.
I've never even heard of such a country.
But he didn't say nothing about Wano. He said Punk Hazard. Is it that fiery island over there?
If he was using a mini snail, the only island within range would have to have been that one. Would have to be that one.
That settles it. We're going to rescue that dude.
No! It's probably too late for him. Samurai are scary.
I'm scared too.
Punk Hazard.
Smoker, was that?
Crap. How the heck did they get here?
Black transponder snail for wiretapping.
Well, we had a 1 in 3 chance under normal circumstances, that is.
And it's Smoker! Grand Line, Naval Base 5, G5 Vice Admiral, White Chase Smoker.
Yo! It burns! It burns! Knock that off right this instant! Don't bully the pirates!
There are 3 places the needles indicate after Fishman Island, Risky Red Island, Raijin Island, and Mystoria Island. Straw Hat was bound to choose Raijin Island, the destination with the bumpiest needle, or so I thought. But then he goes and ignores all of them.
But Smoker, ever since the accident 4 years ago, Punk Hazard has been abandoned and sealed off. There can't be anyone there.
That's right, and ain't in any state to support life at the moment. But that's all we've got to go on for now. We're on the move, boys.
No way, Vice Admiral! The place is off limits! Didn't you know that?
Don't tell me what the law is. Now get this ship moving, you rats.
Aye, aye, sir!
Here you go. Fresh deep-sea fish lunches.
Woo! I can't wait!
Who drew the short straws?
We did.
This should be exciting.
I'll trade with someone! Anyone!
As Zoro, Robin, and Usopp are on the line to go and check out Punk Hazard itself.
Milky Road!
Whoa! Sweet! A path of clouds! You can make those Skypea things now?
Yep, but there's still clouds, so hurry up before they dissipate.
As she creates a path over the wall of flames that leads into Punk Hazard. Here goes the search party! Carry us there, Minnie Mary! Ah, this fish is good.
Take care, guys!
Good lucky jerks.
We'll get our turn. We'll get our turn once they come back.
Lucky jerks.
And this is Sanji saying this because they're all traveling with Robin.
Lucky jerks. We'll get our turn once they come back.
Yo! Be safe, friends!
Hang in there, Usopp! Someone switch with me!
Whoa, we're going up! Whee! Looks like we're passing over the fire!
Are we gonna be able to take these clouds on the way back? At least it stopped raining.
Perfect weather.
It's too hot!
Does that cloud actually reach the island?
Who knows?
Goes Nami.
I'm so glad I didn't draw a short straw for Luffy's escort. I can't stand the heat.
Well, we can't have him running off on his own. He'll be back soon once his search turns up nothing.
Great! Let me whip up a nice cool deep-sea fish dessert, Nami!
Yeah!
Hey, check it out! There's the entrance!
I'm telling you, there might have been people here once, but no one can live in this environment now. I bet that call we got was coming from some other island, farther away. Right, Robin?
The fish looked ugly, but it tastes quite good.
What's going on? This is not lunchtime!
As Robin and Zoro are just eating their bento boxes. You aren't gonna eat yours?
I wouldn't be able to keep it down!
And then Robin is also feeding Luffy some food as well.
Oh man, I think my condition is flaring up for the first time in 2 years. As a matter of fact, I'm suffering from a debilitating case of can't get on this island-itis!
We know.
We know.
Let's drag Mary up on the beach. Punk Hazard entrance. This is the place, all right. The sign proves it.
Ugh. The emergency alert must have come from in here.
And it's incredibly hot as Zoro's already wiping the sweat from his brow.
This island is off limits! Just look, Luffy! The insignia of both the world government and the Navy! Meaning that if anyone was here, they'd be government employees. No point going inside. Let's turn back.
And they just go walk inside the door anyway. Because Zoro cut a hole in the door.
Think about this! You're committing a crime! Wait, pirates are criminals.
And Zoro takes off the upper half of his suit.
The entire place is burning.
The entire place is burning up.
Okay, but I warn you! You want to pick a fight with the government? Wait, we're already here.
It doesn't seem as though this island was originally on fire. Was there some disaster? An accident?
Man, it's so hot here! And even Luffy has to take off his cardigan. That's what you call his shirt, it's a cardigan.
I don't think these are houses. This must be a government facility.
So were the big fences and warnings a sign that this place got dangerous once a fire started? Or was it always a dangerous facility?
And the fact that the log posts won't point to the island is curious as well.
Hello? Are you here, guy from before? We're here to rescue you! That's such a perfect way to find someone. Guy from before! Where are you? Random. 2 years ago, he was a captain at Marineford. He was promoted to Commodore, and now he's a Vice Admiral. Yeah, when you're good at your job, you tend to get promotions. Come on out, samurai!
Don't call that murderer down on us!
So now you're hungry.
No use wasting my final meal. The thing that sticks out to me was that the voice said it was cold.
It's so cold. Is that you, boss?
Remember?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. How can it be cold when it's so hot? Maybe he's an idiot.
What kind of reasoning is that?
Someplace cold on an island of fire? Maybe he meant that his experiment was chilling.
Something wrong, Nami?
Yes, it's the clouds. Something's wrong with the sky over this island. It appears to be freezing on the far side.
But that's ridiculous. Then we get back with Luffy and company.
Whoa! A giant!
Nah, it's even bigger. And then it starts to move behind them.
What? What the?
Huh? Do those actually exist?
No, I thought they were imaginary. They can't be real.
But it's clear to me. That can only be one thing.
A dragon!
And it's a giant dragon standing in front of Luffy and company.
Inhabitant of Punk Hazard. Dragon.
Who goes there?
Huh?
How much farther do I got? Oh, we're about to end it. We're almost done. That's the end of chapter 655. Onwards to chapter 656, but first in SBS. Question. By the way, I've noticed that you're drawing lots of when they were kid portraits, so I wondered if you might draw Perona. Would you mind doing that? Plus Absalom, Hogback, and Sindri. Sign Witch Princess Eustace Luna. So we have Absalom, who's a kid who... He's got like these old clothes on. He doesn't have a shirt. He has a shovel and a destroyed type hat. It has a destroyed top hat and has a sign with a lion behind him. We got Hogback, who doesn't have shades on or goggles on, and he's cutting into a rat while looking at like a medical book. We have Sindri, who, remember, she was like a famous actress, so she has like a cane and a top hat, looking just as cute as she wants to look. And then we have Perona, who looks pretty much the same, even as a child, while she's walking around... dragging like a ghost doll and her umbrella, and she has like a bear on a chain that she's walking around with as well. Yeah, so that's everybody. Question. Hello, Mr. Oda. All the young mermaids at the Mermaid Inlet are so beautiful. So I was wondering, what was old lady Kokoro like when she was young? Draw her for us. Okay, this is the end for the questions this volume. See you next time. So we have Kokoro when she was younger. And she was gorgeous. Time hit her like a ton of bricks afterwards. Chapter 656, Adventure on the Burning Island. Decks of the World, Volume 38, Water 7. The second sea train is complete. So, first we have the Puffing Tom. Now, with the members of Galley Law, with Lulu, Tilestone, and Polly, they create the Puffing Ice Sea Train. But the dragon is right in front of Luffy and the crew.
Whoa!
Whoa! It just said something!
No.
No! It was a figment of your imagination!
As Usopp is already running away, his fight or flight responses, well, for Usopp, it's really flight or fly faster. That triggers, and he's already booking it while Robin, Zoro, and Luffy are standing in front of this dragon. I don't know. Are you sure?
Look, I'm having a hard enough time even accepting the fact that this is really a dragon!
But it's very clearly the same form depicted in legends and tales.
And then the dragon points his head up, and you start to see flames flicker in its mouth. Then it cuts to Zoro.
Uh-oh.
And they all manage to dodge out of the way as it sends this gigantic torrent blast of fire directly in front of it.
It's breathing fire at us! Yo! This thing can't possibly be real. I guess that makes it all a dream.
Now this is more like it.
And then Luffy's laughing as they're all running away from the flames. Gum! Jet bullet! And Luffy hits it in the face. And it kind of takes the hit. Whoa, that's some tough hide! As it glares right back at Luffy. And before he can do anything, the dragon swipes it with its tail, sending him flying into a building.
Luffy!
You like how Zoro kicked away Usopp? Yeah, while they were all running, Zoro made sure to get the one who was incapable of fully dodging out of the way expertly. He kicked him away to keep from getting, because Usopp is not the most physically strong of the group. So him even dodging stuff is something. But Zoro runs up towards the dragon.
Luffy!
Give me your best shot. I can sense it.
I can sense a poop presence approaching.
Huh?
And then he dodges out of the way as the dragon tries to chomp on him.
Yeah, the dragon can talk. 3-sword style. Ultra Tiger Hunt!
And he tries to hit the dragon. And the dragon tries to bite him, but Zoro blocks the dragon's mouth with his swords. So just remember, this is a giant dragon, and Zoro is holding this thing's mouth from closing on him and eating him with his swords. Imagine if Usopp and Nami would learn the 6 powers. I think about that all the time. What if Nami was actually strong? What if Usopp was actually strong? I'm just thinking about it. Like, he's gained muscle, but none of it goes into actual physical damage. He mostly relies on the same thing he's always relied on. But just imagine.
Darn. Not only is it powerful, it's hard to put a dent into.
Take this! As Luffy runs back up and then kicks the dragon in its midsection. And Zoro gets sent speeding backwards.
Luffy, it was talking.
See? I told you!
I heard it too. But how?
Now it's flying! Wow! And it's...
Boo! Are you with the 7 warlords as well? Are you with the 7 warlords as well?
As the dragon sets fire to the ground down below them, which they all manage to, rescue themselves. And it's Robin this time who saves Usopp because she's shoving his face down so that he doesn't get burnt to a crisp.
Yo! It's hot, and it's talking some more!
It said something about the warlords. I wonder if it's got some score to settle with them.
Let me handle him, Luffy. I'm gonna cut him in 2.
Okay, go ahead. In that case, ow! I'll knock it out of the sky for you! As Luffy launches himself, mind you, every surface he touches is burning hot. So him just gripping onto this edge of the building in this burning landscape already burns his fingers. But he launches himself. He launches himself at the dragon. Usopp gained all that muscle just to endure an even bigger beating. Yes, the muscle was not for him to be physically stronger in a fight. It's for him to endure more pain. The muscle is to protect his body, not to make it stronger. It's just, the muscle is the defense, not meant for offense. I'll knock it out of the sky for you! But Luffy latches onto one of its wings in order to avoid getting blasted by fire again, and then he rolls across the back. Hot! Hot! Even its skin is hot!
Huh? Boo! It feels cool all of a sudden. How curious. The flames feel nippy on my skin. Boo!
Hey guys! Hey you guys, there's someone up here! Like stuck in the dragon's head!
Huh? But how?
Perhaps that's who was speaking.
And then the dragon tries to chomp at Luffy on his back because it has a long neck, but Luffy keeps dodging out of the way. Whoa! Whoa! That's it! If you're hungry, try a wing! And then the dragon, not paying attention, bites directly into its own wing. Destroying it. And since dragons tend to need 2 wings in order to fly, it goes hurtling down. Dummy! We're coming down, Zoro!
Usopp!
I've got your back. I've got your back. Green Star! Trampolia!
1-sword style.
As Zoro launches into the air, and then he goes sailing into the air and he starts spinning as he starts clashing against the dragon.
Yai. Death Dragon Song!
And with one clean cut, Zoro cuts off the head of the dragon.
Whoa! Awesome!
Man, this
dragon looks tasty.
The flames here should make for a good barbecue.
On the 1,000 sunnies southwest of the island. Oh, Nami! I got some delectable deep sea crepes here. They should go well with champagne and... Huh? You guys taking a nap? And everyone is asleep. Nami's unconscious, Chopper's unconscious, so are Brook and Frankie. Huh? Mist. And then Sanji starts to drop all of his food because it's whatever this mist is starting to affect him as well. Ugh, no! Crap! I already breathed too much
too much of it in. They've been knocked out by gas? Is it natural? Or has someone infiltrated the ship? I just hope the others on the island took a portable snail with them. Got to tell them.
As Sanji falls to this, I guess, gas. And then people in suits walk in, like full body suits, covering their heads as well, walk in. 2 humans, 1 humanoid metal man, and 1 pet. Tie them all up. Yes, sir. They're pirates. This is perfect. We shall offer them to master. No one's going to raise a fuss over a few pirates gone missing. Back on Punk Hazard. Okay, I'm gonna pull him out!
Who goes there? Let go of me. Puh!
Hang on, I'm getting you out! 1, 2! Ah! As Luffy pulls on the legs, because there were legs sticking on the dragon. But when Luffy pulls on it, it's just legs.
I ripped him in half! I'm sorry! Sorry ain't gonna cut it, Luffy! You just murdered a man in cold blood!
And then the legs get up.
I've been pulled off and given my freedom.
What the? He's still talking! What is he, a zombie? He's a monster!
What does this mean? Look, there's no mark to suggest he's been torn in two.
So he was always just a pair of legs? Pretty big ones, too.
I can sense someone's here. Who are they, and what are they doing? I can sense someone's here, and who are they, and what are they doing?
Wow, you're pretty unique.
If only I had eyes and ears. Whoever you are, give me passage. Puh! There is much yet to be done before I die. Puh!
Yikes! As the legs try to kick in the direction of Luffy.
That buffoon of a warlord will never escape my wrath. Puh!
Hey, he's getting away!
Come back! You have to join my crew! Don't even think about it!
To be continued in One Piece Volume 67. And that's all we get. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We're done. We are done with Volume 66 of the series. We are done with Fishman Island, and now we get to begin Punk Hazard. And then after Punk Hazard, Dressrosa. And after Dressrosa, Zou. And after Zou, the beginning of Whole Cake Island. And then I'll be done. Mark it on your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. My final One Piece reading for the volumes leading up to when I first started doing reactions to this series will be on the 11th of August, and we are still making good time. Okay, so I enjoyed this chapter. I really did. We've seen the end of Fishman Island, so I don't have to worry about doing Shirahoshi's voice for quite a while. They have no idea what they're getting themselves into. No, they don't. Oh, they have no idea. And actually, coincidentally, Punk Hazard is when I started reading One Piece. Not doing reactions on the channel, but Punk Hazard is when I started reading One Piece. And I will know exactly which chapter that is once we get into it, because it was somewhere near the middle of the Punk Hazard arc when I actually started reading One Piece chapters. I had no prior knowledge of One Piece, nor did I think it was necessary for me to read any chapters beforehand. Grateful that I've done it now. But I can't wait to reread the very arc that I started reading One Piece on. I can't wait. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. I might have a stream today where we're messing with Cyberpunk because I feel like doing that and just chilling with you guys. So I hope you guys stop by and don't mind. But I'm done today for today's reading. All I can say to everyone here right now is hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you wasn't that also during the Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War? Was it? Was the 1,000-Year Blood War out the same time as the Punk Hazard arc? Was it? I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed. I'll remember. I can't remember. I'm sorry. But hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all. Y'all detract me so much, but don't even worry about it. It's fine. It's perfectly all right. I do it all the time. Hope y'all all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you enjoyed what you saw here today, then please, because it helps the channel as the channel continues to grow, like, subscribe, and share the stream with everyone you know, because the more the merrier. And because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!